Hey, how you doing? I thought I'd show you my bass because I've done some new stuff to it. Look at that. So I've put loads of switches in instead of knobs, and I've just got this tone control. So the last video I did on this bass got quite a few views and loads of interest. Some people loved it, some people hated it. It's like, what have you got a Stingray and butchered it and taken out the insides, and you know, and which I totally understand because it's a silly thing to do. And now I've done this, so you know the biggest question you're probably watching this thinking midlife crisis, and to be fair, you're probably right. But let me just talk you through what I've done and see if you like it, see if you don't like it. I like it. I'm finding it really usable and something that I've thought about for a very long time. So I've gone for switches rather than pots because what I find is, normally on a gig, if I normally want either a P bass sound or a jazz bass sound, or if you've got three pickups here, and I had them on volume knobs, and just going between like different sounds was tough. It was a lot of twiddling, and so just to be able to go right, I want this front pickup kind of P bass sound, just works straight away. And so all these switches, switch 1, 2, 3 are just on off switches for these three pickups, and we've got the DC 40 TWX here, which is monster. That's single coil and humbucker, which is switchable by lift switch here, and we've got the same in the back here. So these are like, so I can switch those into single coil, and I've kind of got a jazz bassy kind of vibe, which is great. Single coil at the front here for the P bass kind of sound is great. And then this DC40 here, this is exactly where the original humbucker was when it was a Stingray. So, and it's a ceramic magnet, it's a ceramic, not chromatic, ceramic magnet in here, the same as what it was when it had the original Stingray pickup. So the original Stingray pickup is a ceramic magnet humbucker, which clearly isn't easy for me to say. So they're the on-off switches for those. So kind of combinations I've got like a P bass kind of tone at the front here. I've got like a Stingray tone in the middle and a jazz bass kind of tone at the middle, at the end, sorry, at the bridge. And these two here are switchable from single coil to humbucker. This one is a humbucker all the time. This control here is a tone switch, which switches in two tone caps. So one is a 0.5, and so that's open 0.5, and then one UF tone cap, just so I can have a quick tone control if I need it. So if I was going from a honky jazz bass at the back and that fully open, and then I wanted to go to a P bass at the front with some tone on it, it's all kind of there under my fingers, very quickly accessible. So let's have a listen to it. So here's the P bass. I say P bass, but this is the front pickup here. Which is quite cool. Here's the middle pickup. Is the back pickup in single coil mode. Here's the front and back pickup. So this is these two. So it's kind of the same as like a jazz bass. And then we can change those to humbuckers. Which is quite cool. It's very cool actually, lots of usable sounds. But also we can do things like have the front two pickups. So like the kind of Stingray and the P bass, or the two back ones. So you've still got that kind of a bit more body, or I can make that into a humbucker as well. So So, or yeah, so there's loads of different combinations which are really good. And then we've got these tone controls. So if I can darken the tone right up, which is very nice. And yeah, so lots of options there, and very quick access to each sound. So yeah, that's quite cool. Something I did think of doing, these are 3-position switches which I'm going to change to 2-position switches, but I was thinking it might be quite cool to have it on and then have it with then a tone cap in and then off, so you could have it like bright, dark, off. And I worked out how to do it, but it was really fiddly and I was getting really confused with what was going on. I'm just not clever enough to be able to make that work. I'm sure someone else would be. But it worked and it was all quite cool. But yeah, in practice it was a bit, I was on the wrong sound, and yeah, it was all a bit confusing. So yeah, so let's hear it schlepped. So this is front single coil. Middle coil. And back one. And then front and 2 together. So that's the kind of vibe of the bass. Loads of bits and pieces in there, and like I say, if you're playing a gig and you want to go from one sound to the other, it's all pretty accessible. So hope you enjoyed that. Cool, have a good day, see you soon.